Hello and welcome. My name is Crayz and I am bringing you guys the latest and greatest news on S&box development since 2017. If you're not familiar, S&box is Garry's Mod 2, is being developed by Facepunch Studios, who are the developers of the original Garry's Mod, as well as Rust. And today we've got a brand spanking new development blog to go over. In this blog, we're going to see what Facepunch have been working on in the past month. They've been doing some work on the graphics, and it is looking so good. I can't wait to show you guys the screenshots and videos that they shared. And even at the end of the blog, Garry talks a little bit more about releasing S&box to modders, putting the game in our hands finally. And I just gotta reiterate, the graphics are looking so good. You've seen a couple of the screenshots already in this video. Trust me, there is more where that came from. And if you are a animator or a level designer, if you got some skills, you better hit up Facepunch because they are hiring. And now without further ado, let's hop into this blog and check it all out. Typical Facepunch blog format, we've got some sections posted by Garry Newman himself, some sections posted by Sam, and some sections posted by Layla. Bouncy physics. Okay, so Garry was working on some surface properties and evidently he was struggling to make things bouncy. So he dug in and created his own system for physics elasticity and made it so if you set something to 100% elasticity, it will bounce forever. Impact effects have made their way into the game, so if you shoot a brick wall, you're going to see some dust come off the wall. If you shoot a box, you're going to see splinters. If you shoot metal, you're going to see sparks, etc. And this is just something that looks cool. It doesn't really have any practical use. This is noise created by Garry Newman. Quote, I bound a bunch of noise functions and I wanted to see what they did, so I made a quick entity to visualize it. This is pretty useless to everyone, but it looked cool, so here it is. And now those graphical improvements that I was bragging about earlier. Sam is putting in a lot of work making sure S&box looks good, and he's definitely doing a good job at it. Now let's take a moment to soak in these beautiful graphics. Take a moment to soak it in and appreciate all the hard work that's been going into making S&box look good. What you're seeing now is a depth of field effect. Basically, whatever your camera is focused on appears sharp and everything else is blurry. Looks incredible. There have also been upgrades made to the cube map system. This is another graphical improvement. Cube maps affect how shiny items reflect the environment around it. And if you take a look at this clip, you can see that the reflective effect on the balloon is changing as he walks into this dark corridor. Layla has pulled over some of the assets from Rust to create a car and work on the vehicle physics. It's looking really good. The vehicle physics we're seeing here is in the C# add-on level, so if modders or developers want to take this and improve on it or create their own custom physics, they can do that. Layla has also been working on a flying drone. Again, the assets are pulled from Rust. It looks like the controls are quite nice, and evidently it's pretty simple to implement. There is a physics rigid body, and the controls apply forces to the physics of that rigid body to make it fly around. Layla's also been working on some quality of life and user experience features for the development tools. This is for add-on developers. Now remember, the easier and better it is for developers to create their add-ons, the quicker and better they can pump out content, the more fun it is for the gamers. We're just about to the final part of the blog where Garry talks about releasing S&box to modders. It's a little bit promising. It almost sounds like he wants to release it now. So we're going to jump into that here shortly. First, I'm going to talk about the Deathmatch game mode. Garry has released the source code of the Deathmatch game mode, which he quote, I've been working through a Deathmatch game mode, adding new weapons and working out what else needs to be done. The end goal for this is to be playable, to be a good test for the whole game mode add-on system. So the purpose of the Deathmatch game mode is for Garry to create an add-on or a game mode like any regular developer would, somebody who does not work for Facepunch, and see if there's anything that needs to be ironed out or any issues they might come across, experience the development from a regular person's point of view, and make it more user-friendly. And here we are, the final part of the blog, early access. Quote, we could probably give dev access to a few modders now. The main thing stopping me is that right now I'm really enjoying the pace and working on what needs to get worked on. I worry that if we invite people, there's going to be a shift of priorities and I'm going to have to rush and half-arse a bunch of stuff to cater for it. Let's see though. So we can't really come to a conclusion as to whether or not they're going to give dev access now, but it kind of sounds like it when he says at the end, let's see though. He raises his concerns about releasing early access now, and then he says, let's see how it goes though. So maybe he's gonna release it now. Maybe people already have it. Who knows? I don't have it. Do any of you have it? Let me know if you do. I'd be really interested in hearing about it. And to conclude, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for future updates. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button for sure. Definitely hit that like button. and hit the bell button if you want to be notified for future updates. Whenever I post a video, it's going to be about S&box, and it's going to tell you that the video is out and there's some cool stuff to share about S&box. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.